Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Fumble Sports Betting Show, the daily betting show for all of those joining us on Instagram Live. Welcome into the behind-the-scenes view for everyone watching on TikTok Live and YouTube. Settle in. I hope you're enjoying your day. We got our screen up. We're going to go through all of our bets from yesterday, see how they did before we dive into a big Friday night of sports, NHL, NBA, and of course the NBA. MLB, NBA, NHL. So make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Every time we hit 1,000 likes, we will give out one of our favorite bets of the day. So we're putting that out there now. We want to give out a lot of them, so hit that like button. If you're watching on Instagram Live, we can see your questions. So Carlos, don't worry, we're going to get to your questions tonight. We're going to dive into all the games tonight, so settle in. If you want to see what we're going to throw up on the screen for graphics, research, and everything else, you can watch on YouTube. There's a link in our bio, takes you right to our YouTube channel, Fumble Sports. But before we do anything else, Alexander, hope you're having a great day. We will review our bets from yesterday, but before we did that, I wanted to remind everyone of some of my tips and suggestions for sports betting overall. We talked about this earlier in the week, but I wanted to make sure I alluded to it because our results from last night were a bit of hit or miss. So I wanted to remind people, when you have a night where you don't have as good a night as you expected to, how should you feel about sports betting? How should you respond? And a couple of my tips. No such thing as a sure thing. I often have a lot of confidence behind something, but I know every underdog has his day, and every favorite can come out ahead on the against the spread. Anyone can win, anyone can lose. So respect the game, respect sports betting, and understand there's no such thing as a perfect record. There's no such thing as a perfect night. Sometimes you go 0 for 3, sometimes you go 3 for 4. It's just how it goes. Know how much you're willing to bet, know how much you're willing to lose, stick with it. Don't spend more than you have. Don't spend more than you want to. Have a plan, stick to it. If everyone likes the same bet, be wary. If everyone likes the same bet, be wary. So if everyone's on one team, start to question it a little bit. Doesn't mean you have to bet against it. Means you should start to wonder if it's worth putting the money on something that at that point isn't a great bet. Don't chase money. Don't chase winning. If you lose, you lose. But don't throw a log on the fire when it's just about to go out. If you're down, don't try and make it back up with one big swing. It's not how it works. Be smart. Don't chase the money. Don't chase a win when you're down big. Just take a breath. Maybe it's better to take a step back than to dive into the shallow end head first. Have a strategy. Have a reason for your bet. I know it's fun to watch corgis on social media knock a beach ball into baskets and think that has some kind of rhyme or reason to it. It doesn't, so be very mindful of what you're actually putting your money down on. Have a reason for your bet. Have conviction, have reason, but don't just shoot from the hip, because win or lose, you won't really feel like you actually came out ahead. You'll just feel like you shot randomly and hit something in the dark. Not the way you want to win, especially because, to the final point, sports betting is entertainment. To me, I talked about this a lot. I could go to the movies and spend money and be entertained, or I could stay home with friends, family, and watch a sporting event and get my entertainment from the game and throw some money down on it. So instead of spending money at the movies, I can spend that same money on some sports bets, get the same amount of entertainment. So that's how I think of sports betting. I put that out there because last night was not one of our best nights. We throw it up here on the screen. We had our hits, we had our misses, but where we missed, it hurt. Jason Tatum obviously didn't get to his 29.5 points. We missed on that one. We expected him to have a big game 6. I really don't know if I want to start doubling down on him for game 7, so we'll talk about that probably tomorrow. But Joel Embiid hurt us on a bad beat. He got 26 points. We bet the over 26.5. When he said he didn't touch the ball in the final 4 minutes of that game, ouch. That hurt us as much as it hurt the 76ers. So we thought we had that one in the bag. Didn't end up working out. Jack Hughes. We finally put a hockey bet out there and we missed on it. No wonder the Devils lost. He only had one shot in the entire game. Totally laid an egg. Christian Walker we put out there as a long shot bet. Didn't happen. And Devin Booker, over 2.5 3-pointers. He only had one. So not only did he not talk to the media after the game, but he didn't shoot the 3 enough. We did well in baseball last night. Our baseball game picks have been red hot. Over the last 3 days, we're 8 of 9 on our baseball game picks, so you're definitely going to want to stick around and hear which games we're targeting tonight. We are red hot with our baseball game picks. So we hit on the Rays on the money line. We hit Padres Twins under 8.5. That was at 8. Yandy Diaz got a hit. Rizzo got a base. Derek White back to, this was one of our in-game show, our in-show bets that we came up with because the research said it was a good play. And it didn't work out. Derek White, another bad beat. He had 9 points. We needed 10. So we missed on Derek White. Aaron Gordon didn't have the number of rebounds that we wanted, so we missed on that. But we got Marcus Smart. We got Marcus Smart in a number of ways. Embiid, I think he only had 1 assist. Like, he had a terrible... Embiid really didn't have that great a game, all things considered. And Malcolm Brogdon, he cashed on us. So those are our plays from last night. We always want to review how we've done the previous night. We don't want you guys to think that we're just throwing out picks and then not alluding to them the next day. So that's where we're at. But those picks, that's yesterday's news. So we'll throw those away, throw those in the garbage can, take what we can from them in terms of lessons. We're doing well in our baseball game picks. Reevaluated some of our baseball player prop bets. Found a new way of approaching those, so I think we're going to do better on those today. Want to give a shout out to Alexander. Want to give a shout out to Tristan. Appreciate you guys for watching. The first question we got was actually on Instagram Live, which was Carlos Machado 716 asked about the Miami Heat New York Knicks game tonight. I wanted to jump into that one right away. Of course, guys, make sure that you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Once we hit 1,000 likes, we will give out one of our favorite bets of the day. Also want to give a shout out to those watching on YouTube. Make sure you guys watch on YouTube. I believe it's the best experience to watch our show. Caesar, appreciate you watching. Let's get it started, baby. Good afternoon to you. Hope you're having a great day, Caesar, watching on YouTube. To everyone who's watching, no matter where you are, hope you're having a wonderful day. Feel free to, in the comment section, throw where you're watching from. Would love to know where you're watching from. It's always fun to see all the different places around the country. We're going to start. Walter, we'll get to your question in just a moment, but we're going to first start by looking at the Knicks Heat game. That was the first one I promised. Out to Carlos Machado watching on Instagram Live. The first one we want to look at, I'm looking at this game from a Miami Heat winning perspective. So when we use our Outlier app to review this game and to do our research, you have to take a perspective on it. For that reason, we're going to look at it from a New York Knicks Miami Heat winning perspective. First thing we see, strong trend. Miami Heat are 3-1 versus the Knicks at home during both the regular season and the postseason. Stands out, certainly stands out. Heat have been a really strong home team during the postseason. Definitely gives us reason for confidence. Looking at some of the trends, just looking at the head-to-heads, obviously everyone knows how the series has gone, but just looking at the scoring, the Knicks, for the most part, really have not played great on the road in either series that they've played. So there are a lot of reasons for me to think Miami Heat tonight. That's on the money line, though. Let's talk about them on the spread really quickly before we go to some of these questions that we're getting in. Spread 6.5 right now. Let's look at the strongest trend. Knicks are 15-4 against the spread on the road, off a win over their last 19 games. So based on the trends that we're getting from Outlier, which is a great sports betting tool. If you want to get access to it, DM us and we'll hit you up with a link. They're suggesting the Knicks at 6.5 is a strong play. I would tend to agree, especially a team that is facing elimination. A Tom Thibodeau team has a lot of pride. Jalen Brunson, you know there's going to be fight tonight. The one thing I'm not worried about with the Knicks tonight is fight. Maybe from Julius Randle, because you never know what you're going to get from him. But from Jalen Brunson, Grimes, RJ Barrett, I'm expecting a lot of fight, so I actually expect this to be a tighter game. My only concern is if at the end, again, we get towards like a free throw situation. But for the most part, I like Miami on the money line tonight, but I like the Knicks to cover. Obviously, the trend suggests both of those are a strong play. We do like to look here at what, if we shift the odds a little bit, where could we get maybe some advantageous looks? Knicks to cover 5. This is on the other side. I meant to go the other side. Sorry. Knicks at 5.5. You're seeing is at 105. Little tight for me. But at the 7.5, minus 120, I like that play. I feel like the Knicks can cover 7.5. 8.5 you're getting at minus 140. That's still not bad. Frankly, if you went as high as Knicks 9.5 at 155 or 10.5 at 175, these aren't bad bets. If you feel strongly like I do that you're going to get a tighter game, I feel like you could get minus 175. That's not a terrible play. We've given out bets that are obviously 200 odds or more, and we don't always love those. But if you feel strongly about it, that's not a terrible play. Do I feel like the Knicks are going to lose by double digits tonight? I don't think so. I don't think they will get embarrassed like that. I think there will be more fight. Tristan, appreciate Wales. Wow, unbelievable. Those who are watching, we're getting them from all over the world. So cool to know the support that we have here at Butt Fumble Sports. Make sure you guys hit that follow button. Make sure you follow Butt Fumble Sports no matter where you are. And of course, hit that like button. Once we get up to 1,000 likes, we'll give out one of our favorite bets of the day. We're halfway there, a little more than halfway there, so keep hitting that like button. Let's get there. Okay, Walter, appreciate your question. Should have went with Machado to hit. Go with Padres under you 6-8. Yeah, Walter. We talked about that parlay yesterday. A lot of interesting parlays that we're going to talk about today. Again, we're not into the 6-7 game parlays. We feel like that's just burning money. But there are opportunities to maybe get a good 2-player parlay or a 2-game, a player and a game parlay. So some opportunities with what's out there. Obviously, we love some of our best bets tonight. Want to make sure we give those out, so keep hitting that like button. If you have questions and you're watching on Instagram Live, feel free to fire away. We're happy to give out all of our information, do our research, and let you guys know what we find. Caesar, walks don't count as a base for Rizzo on DraftKings. First of all, that's really lame because the sports book that I use does consider walks as a base because it is a base. Hence, otherwise you just say hits or just sit. I don't understand that. Of course, a walk is a base. Like, you just earned your base. That's why they say take your base. Like, okay, DraftKings, very, very lame. Sorry, Caesar, that didn't work out for you because where we bet it did. So unfortunate. By the way, let us know. Does that happen to you guys? Does the sports book you use consider a walk a base or not? Because I think it should. A walk is a base. I would think a hit by pitch is a base. I don't know if my sports book considers that. I've actually never had that happen where the bets come up that way, but I feel like it should. Caesar, yeah, that Tampa Bay play yesterday was a strong one. I'm actually really interested. I'm kind of interested to see how Garrett Cole's going to do tonight. That's actually a game I kind of have my eye on because you would think, the Yankees ace on the mound should be a great play, but he gave up, a 6-run lead. The Yankees gave up a 6-run lead when he pitched in Tampa Bay last week. And for a number of reasons, I'm kind of curious to know if Garrett Cole is actually, if Rays hitters are almost too familiar with him at this point. Obviously, he has amazing stuff, but sometimes you see this with stud aces when they play in a divisional opponent enough times. Yandy Diaz is seeing him enough times where he's going to start to jump him. Wander Franco does not have good numbers against Garrett Cole. You have to feel like sooner or later he's just going to see Garrett Cole enough where he's going to start getting some hits. We always use our ballpark, this ballparkpal.com website to look at some of the weather factors and how they're going to impact the scoring in the games today. Looking at that Yankee game, home runs, you can't quite see it on the screen. Home runs, plus 6%. So the likelihood of home runs tonight is up. You see it's a warmer night, wind blowing out to center. Not quite so much to right field. That's why it's only at 6. If it were blowing more to right field, you'd think this would be closer to 10, maybe 12. But the point is, expect some home runs in the Yankee game. So keep your eye on a couple of hitters who could maybe go yard. Anthony Rizzo's always one I have my eye on. Obviously, there's Aaron Judge. That doesn't even need to be said at this point. But Anthony Rizzo going up against a right-handed starter. I think the Rays have a starter. They're having their opener, and then they're having someone else come in. So keep your eye on Anthony Rizzo. Another one that I have my eye on, and I actually put him in my DFS lineup tonight. If you want to check out our DFS lineup, go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. The link is in our bio or on our Instagram account. We also posted our Instagram account as well. But there's one hitter in the Rays order that I really have my eye on when it comes to hitting a home run tonight, and that's Harold Ramirez. Harold Ramirez of the Tampa Bay Rays. He doesn't have a home run against Cole in his career, but he's 5 for 8 lifetime. That's a .625 batting average. He's only struck out once, so the idea that he makes strong contact against Cole, and as you're also seeing here on the Ballpark Pal website, singles less likely tonight, minus 18% on likelihood of a single. Is that single or is that extra base hits? Let me double check. Sorry, that's extra base hits. So the likelihood of an extra base hit is down for this Yankee game. So you think if someone's going to have good contact against Cole, it's almost worth it to put the money down on a home run play. See if you can get the long shot dinger. Obviously, that's going to go off at like a plus 300 to like a plus 500, that kind of range. So if doubles and triples are down based on the weather, but home runs are up, kind of a nice play there. Appreciate all of you guys joining us on Instagram Live. You're getting a behind-the-scenes view of our show, Butt Fumble Sports, and our daily sports betting show. If you have questions about anything when it comes to DFS, fantasy overall, betting, player prop bets, totals, throw your questions in the chat. More than happy to answer those, as well as those who are watching on YouTube and those who are watching on TikTok Live. Jeff Parker got a good NBA play for tonight. We talked just a moment ago. I like the Miami Heat on the money line. Just looking at how they've played at home against both the Knicks, but as well as how they played at home during the playoffs. We do like the Knicks to cover, but we showed just a moment ago how you could get the Knicks to cover at 9.5, 10.5, and still have pretty good odds, like minus 145, minus 150, minus 175 at that plus 10.5 range. So the whole idea being, I actually like the Knicks to keep it, let's say, within 6 points. So I actually like the Knicks to cover tonight, but I like them at a number of different points. So if you are looking at the Knicks at all, might want to take them at some of those extended ranges. Real Bordeaux, sorry. I think the Yankees will put it on them tonight to bounce back from that pounding yesterday. As much as I want to believe that, that's one of the things we kind of want to avoid here at Butt Fumble Sports, especially with how we bet these games, is we don't want to go on brand name. Brand name says it's the Yankees, it's Garrett Cole, it's a lock, it's definitely going to be a win. And the truth of the matter is, the Rays are the better team. The Rays have been hotter, both recently as well as against the Yankees as of late. You just look at the ERA. That's a 9 ERA. I know it's only one start. I know it's only 5 innings, but you're telling me you have a lot of faith in Garrett Cole. I always like the hitter the second time he sees a pitcher, especially in this short span of time. I always give the advantage to the hitters, not the pitcher. So as much as I think the Yankees offense will bounce back tonight, I don't have the same amount of confidence in Garrett Cole tonight. He's obviously a stud when it comes to strikeouts. I still like him to get his Ks, but there's a reason I didn't touch him in DFS tonight, and that's because, well, he usually is an automatic start because of how many strikeouts he gets. You feel like, one, he's not going to go deep into the game, and two, I think the Rays are going to be able to hit him. They have a lot of left-handed hitters. They hit home runs. Again, as we saw from that Ballpark Pal graphic, if the Rays touch him at all tonight, it's going to be home runs. You almost wish the wind was blowing in, so if they got contact, it'd be just a bunch of singles. He can strike his way out of danger. But I'm a little bit worried about it. Now, obviously, you can see at the minus 8%, that means it's down. The likelihood of runs is down. I think that is because the wind is blowing to the larger part of the ballpark. But there are going to be some home runs tonight at Yankee Stadium, and I think Garrett Cole could give up at least 2 of them. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. If you have questions, comments, or want to join the conversation in any way, get research about any bets that you like, throw your questions in the chat. Okay, getting a question from Real Bordeaux. Think Yuri Perez can hit his K total in his debut. Let's check what the total is being set at. I never like to bet on rookies. I don't like to bet on games that have rookies, let alone bet on the rookies themselves, because there are so many unknown variables that go into it. But let's just see what we get out of it. I don't know if they're even showing him. Yeah, they have it. They're not even showing him on our app, so that just goes to show how little the sports books want to deal with a bet that involves him. I'm willing to look at his minor league stats to try to give you some notes. I mean, there's just not a lot we can go off of here. Yeah. I wish I could give you some data. We love to try to help you guys out with your bets, but this is a tough one. We just don't have the information. You saw it at 4.5. This is what we can do. That's in that Marlins Reds game. This is what we can do. We can look at, I want to look at how the Reds have done against a right-handed starter at home. So, against right-handed pitchers at home. Real Bordeaux, we're going to look at it that way. Try to help you out. We're using Fangraphs, obviously a great website. A lot of analytics, a lot of stats, just a great place to look. So, Cincinnati, they're 8th in total strikeouts against right-handed pitchers at home. If I had to lean in a direction, I certainly like that. Oh, they're on the road. What am I saying? They're on the road. It's in Miami. So before we actually make any conclusions. Meanwhile, and this works against us here. Look at how they're one of the on the bottom end when it comes to strikeouts on the road this year. So Real Bordeaux, I wouldn't touch it. I'm not about betting on rookies, especially in their debut. I don't like to touch rookies even after a few starts. I need to really get a decent sample size. But doing our research in the one place we can, we're looking at how have the Cincinnati Reds done against right-handed pitchers on the road. They're actually in the bottom third of the league when it comes to strikeouts, 104 over the course of the year. Now, they do have a fewer plate appearances than maybe some others, but at this point, there's enough of a sample size there for me to say they make enough contact on the road. I wouldn't touch the 4.5. You just don't know what you're going to get. A box of chocolates, Forrest Gump style. So for so many reasons, I wouldn't touch it. But I like your looking at a rookie to see if you can bet on him. Always take advantage of where there's opportunity. Okay, you guys are awesome. You guys are doing what you need to do to help us out today, which is hitting that like button. Make sure you keep hitting that like button, and we will give out some of our best bets of the day. We have hit 1,000 likes, so because of that, let's open it up and give you one of our favorite bets of the day. Now, we're going to go across sports. We're going to give you some games, some totals, money line. We're going to cover a lot of things, but these are the bets that we really like today, doing the best we can to give you guys wins. We're going to start with one that actually has been red hot of late. And this is one that I found through other people, just saw a good bet and decided to ride on it. But I did the research before the show, and this one is super strong. So we're going to start out trying to find one that's definitely going to have those dollar signs next to it tomorrow. And that is Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo over 7.5 rebounds. This has been a really strong play. It's hit in 9 of his last 10 games. We're getting that at minus 170. Now, there are places you can get this at 8, obviously, and it's even better. I'll actually dive into that really quick, but for those watching on Instagram Live who are curious, one of because we hit 1,000 likes on TikTok, one of our favorite bets of the day, we're giving it out every time we hit 1,000 likes. Bam Adebayo over 7.5 rebounds. We're getting that at minus 170. Really quick, want to show you that on the prop bet. Adebayo, I want to show you how good this has been. So bear with us for 1 second because we want to show you how strong a play this has been. So you can get this at 9.5 at minus 150, and the implied probability is still at 60%. That's how strong. That's the under, but that's actually not what I wanted to talk about. The 8.5 rather. This is what I want to show you. 8.5, you're getting it. Implied probability 55%. So the likelihood that Bam Adebayo has 8.5 rebounds, 55% probability. You could get that at minus 120 on DraftKings. Great bet. We're taking it at 7.5, but you can see here up on the screen. We're taking it at the 7.5. That's now gone to minus 209. We got that at a better price. We got that at a much better price. So we'll shift it. We'll take it at the 8.5, and we'll play along with what we're seeing up here on the Outlier app. I want to play along accurately. So we're going to take it at 8.5. 8.5, and we're going to ride it at minus 120. But let me show you why we love this play so much. There's the 8.5 on rebounds. He had 8 in his last game, but we think this is going to bounce back. We like this play. He's hit it at 8, 8.5. That's why we liked it at 7.5, because it hit every time. I mean, we really liked it at 7.5, but if that's a little too, 7.5 at minus 209, I really want to take it there. That's what I did like. We got it at minus 170 where we bet it, so that's really the bet we like, if I'm being fair. But we're willing to chance it a little bit. I mean, I don't like it as much at 8.5 if I'm being honest. You can see why I liked it so much at 7.5, because that was just 7.5 was money. Yeah, look at that. Every time. I mean, that's the bet we really want. I'll show it here, but I really want to say this. It's over 7.5, and we're taking it at, we'll take it at the minus 209 that it's offered now, but that's what we really wanted. That's what our original bet was. So you guys see what our favorite play of the day is, because we hit 1,000 likes. Every time we hit another 1,000 likes, we'll hit that. We'll give out one of our favorite bets of the day. If you're watching on Instagram Live, feel free to throw out your questions as well. We got a few questions in from YouTube that we'll now go and address. So appreciate you guys throwing in your questions in from YouTube. Do you like the over/under on the Miami game? We'll get to the Butler total points in a minute, but we got a question on, do we like the total in the Miami Knicks game? Let's look at the total. The over set at 207.5. Now, in the game pick that we put out a couple of days ago, we took the over. We put that out. We always do things kind of here like 24 hours in advance to try to put videos out on TikTok so you guys have plenty of time to check out the play. But when we put out our pick, which was about 24 hours ago, we had Miami on the money line, and we took the over. Now, the reason we took the over is 10-1 in the Heat's last 11 home games, and the over is 4-1 in the Knicks' last 5 games playing on 1 day of rest. Also, the over is 4-0 in the Knicks. The over is 4-0 in the Heat's last 4 games following against the spread loss. So there were just a number of trends that had us leaning towards the over. Let's see how Outlier thinks of that play. We took it on the over because of the trends that we had. By the way, where we found those trends was covers.com. So actually, I'll show that right now. Covers.com. You can go find some great trends. So there you see, we're on covers.com. You can see the under looks like a strong play according to the Knicks side. Over is a strong play according to the Heat side. Plus, we have this over 5-1 in the last 6 meetings in Miami. And I think a large part of that is, I think Vegas sets that total lower because everyone assumes there's going to be a lot of defense. And that's Vegas kind of playing bull and red cape with you, in that they're trying to get you to go into the under, knowing that actually the 3-point shooting of Miami is a little better at home, and therefore the over is a slightly better play. That's at least according to the trends. Going back to the Outlier app, we're looking at the total. What did we say that was at? Like 207.5? So 207.5. If you take the over, minus 105, under 115. So it really is a hard play there at 207, 207.5. There's been line movement. It's moved down. It's moved down from 205 to 208 to 207 to 207. 207.5 to 207. That's moved down. Makes me want to take the over. Makes me want to go against the line movement, thinking that this is the public going heavy on it, and really I want to fade the public. I like the over. I think Miami, first of all, you know you're going to get a good shooting performance from the Miami Heat. They're at home. They're going to shoot better at home. Their three-point shooters are going to be there. I think it's going to be a better performance from them. I think Jimmy Butler is going to have a better performance. We actually had a question from YouTube as well. Do you like the Jimmy Butler total? So, like I said, I like the over in this game. Now let's go to Jimmy Butler and total points. I want to make sure you guys can see it as we do it. So we're using this Outlier website and app. It's a great tool. Make sure you guys DM us on Instagram, TikTok Live, YouTube, Twitter. We will send you a link so you can get a free 7-day trial for Outlier. Outstanding tool. Not only a lot of data and analytics and everything else, but also I can do some comparison shopping for what has the best odds. And as we'll see from a number of the bets that we make today, you want to be able to do that comparison shopping, because if you really are just going off of your sports book, whatever it may be, there could be some bets that we love that you're just getting at terrible odds. If you can just get that at slightly better odds, it's totally worth it. So we're looking at Jimmy Butler points. Over 27.5 has an implied probability of 61%. Boy, do we like that. Now, what's interesting, his last 2 games, he's been under this 27.5. He's been under it 3 out of the last 4 games. You wonder if that's part of the ankle. He's just less aggressive on offense. That's an interesting one for me. The strongest trend. Butler has failed to exceed 28.5 points in 15 of his last 20 games at home against an opponent with a winning record. So this trend extends far beyond just the last few games against the New York Knicks. Interestingly enough, the trend suggests to go under 27.5. I mean, unless we're getting a playoff Jimmy kind of performance tonight. And it's not like it's on the road or at home. Huh. Game 1, you got to think that he was at 25, but then the ankle. And so the scoring stopped a little bit. Game 2, or Game 3 rather, he got to... I don't know. This is a tough play for me. I'd lean slightly towards the under. I mean, playoff Jimmy scares me, so I really don't want to bet on Jimmy Butler points. If I'm being fair, Jimmy Butler points kind of scares me a little bit because of all the players going tonight. I actually think Jimmy Butler's the one that he can go off in a stretch, kind of like what we saw Jason Tatum do in the fourth quarter last night. Jimmy Butler can just go off and get you 10 points within a 4-minute span of time. And so even if you felt comfortable on the over, he can hit that over very quickly. But to me, the ankle has been a factor in his scoring. So I am curious about. I would stay away from this overall. But if I had to put a play on it, I would lean towards the under. I'd lean towards the under to the person who was asking that question on YouTube. Getting a number of questions in from YouTube that we'll get to, but also if you guys have questions on TikTok Live, make sure you throw those questions in the chat. If you're watching on Instagram Live as well, happy to answer all of your questions. But Fumble Sports is a new sports content company here for the fans. We are fans ourselves, doing this research, trying to help you guys out with all of your bets. Make sure you're hitting that like button on TikTok Live or give us a gift. Those are the 2 ways that we give out some of our favorite bets of the day. If you guys want our favorite bets of the day, either hit that like button as many times as you can. Every time we hit another 1,000 like benchmark, we give out one of our favorite bets of the day. We also do accept gifts because that is the world we live in. So yesterday we got a couple of gifts. Lockhub just came through with a gift just now. Thank you guys so much, Lockhub. Perfect example right there. Lockhub delivering a hot dog for us. So with that, we'll give out one of our favorite bets of the day. Lockhub, so appreciate you doing that. And we'll actually go to Jimmy Butler. And we'll stick with the Miami Heat, New York Knicks game with one of our favorite bets of the day. And we'll actually stick with Jimmy Butler. But we're not looking at points. Points isn't where I was looking at. Where I was looking is steals. Jimmy Butler over 1.5 steals. And if you guys watched the show the other day, This is a bet we made last game, and it hit. He had 4 steals last game. He was a monster. We love this. We're getting it at minus 125. I love this play in part because whether he's scoring or not, Jimmy Butler's going to be aggressive. And his basketball IQ can sometimes just get him 2 steals without actually doing anything. He finds a way of being in the right place at the right time. So even if he's the off-ball defender, he still knows how to get in passing lanes. He can get a couple steals just off of that. So this is actually one of our favorite bets of the day. La Cub, this is for you because you gave us that hot dog. Every time we get a gift, we will give out one of our favorite bets of the day. So thank you, La Cub. And this is one more trend behind this. Jimmy Butler has over 1.5 steals in 10 of his last 14 games at home after a loss. So Jimmy Butler after a loss, we don't know, we can't really account for scoring. How's his ankle? Is he going to be more facilitator than a scorer? That we can't really say. But his aggressiveness as a defensive player, that we love, especially after a loss at home. Jimmy Butler over 1.5 steals. Put it on the board at minus 125. Thank you so much, Lock Up, for the hot dog. Jeff Parker in our comment section has a pick. Jeff Parker is taking Knicks at plus 6.5. Jeff, we talked about this just a moment ago. I like that as well, but we also talked about, and we used our outlier app to show this, if you find, you could take the Knicks at 7.5, 8.5, 9.5, 10.5, and still get pretty good odds. So it's one of those, I'm using an expression from Wall Street, but if you buy at this price, then you definitely buy at a price that's even better. If you like Knicks at 7.5, if you like Knicks at 6.5, go find Knicks at 9.5 because you might as well double down on that play. And that's one where I don't feel like you're chasing mid-game. We talked about some of our rules of betting. You don't want to chase a bet when you're down. This is you having conviction behind it, feeling like it's going to be a tighter game. If you feel that way about 6.5, must feel really good about 9.5, right? Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you're following us. Make sure you hit that like button. And make sure you're subscribing, especially those watching on TikTok. We are actually going to do an exclusive subscriber-only show after this one. So we're going to do a live show from 3 to 5 for everybody. But then afterwards, we are going to have a show that's exclusively for subscribers. So make sure you're subscribing. That way you can join in on the conversation. That one we're going to dive into some other bets. So make sure you're hitting that subscriber button as well. Comment in from YouTube. It's an elimination game. All-Stars are playing the most minutes tonight. That's exactly right. So the comment that just came in from YouTube, one of the things I actually like about Jimmy Butler tonight is the Heat are going to treat this game like a Game 7. Every team that's in a Game 6 at home and they have the 3-2 lead is going to treat it like a Game 7. So their stars are going to play. You're not going to see them get extra rest. It's not like the coach is going to be very cautious. So Jimmy Butler is going to be on the floor. One of the reasons we like the steals, I understand that may be the reason you also like him on points. The problem is the trends just don't lead us in that direction, so I'm not going to touch it to the question we had earlier. But Jimmy Butler over 1.5 steals, he's aggressive, he's physical, he's intelligent, and to the comment on YouTube, he's going to be on the floor because it's a Game 6 that the Heat know they need to close out, especially because that 76ers Celtics series has now gone 7. I think the Heat know that their best chance of making it to an NBA Finals is also winning tonight. Their Game 7 would be on Monday night. So the Heat would go from the opportunity of having rest and watching those two teams play on Sunday to all of a sudden needing to prepare on Monday and then having a rest disadvantage. So if the Heat are going to go anywhere the remainder of these playoffs, it has to be a win tonight for so many reasons. Frank, thank you so much for following us. I hope all of you are just like Frank and hitting that follow button. That way you know every time we're live. We appreciate you guys supporting us. And of course, hit that like button. Once we hit 1,000, once we hit another 1,000 likes, 2,000 likes overall, we will give out another one of our favorite bets of the day. Or you can do what Lock Hub did. You give us a gift. We'll give out one of our favorite bets of the day right away. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Let's see, we had another comment in from YouTube, which was, how about Tampa Bay pitcher tonight? Okay, the issue with the Tampa Bay pitching staff tonight is I believe they have an opener. I believe Tampa Bay has an opener, and then they're going to move on to some other pitcher after an inning or two. So for so many reasons, it's so hard to bet on Tampa Bay when they're playing that kind of opener situation. Now let's look at the run line. Let's look at the run line because that may be the play for me tonight. I actually wouldn't like taking the Yankees on the money line tonight. I kind of like taking the Rays on the money on the run line rather. Rays at +1.5. You're getting that at -135. I actually feel like that's the best play because I don't feel like Garrett Cole exclusively or alone gives the Yankees that big an advantage. I feel like this is either going to be a one-run game or the Rays are going to win. So I like them on the money line. But Trevor Kelly, you just see bad stats. 2 innings pitched, 9 runs. You're not getting a lot of information out of that. What you're really getting the information out of is Garrett Cole against the Rays this year. But we can also go one step farther. Let's look at Garrett Cole lifetime or overall his stats against the Tampa Bay Rays hitters. I looked at this last night in doing our research for our DFS lineup, as well as we put out a list of the best hitter-pitcher matchups of the day. That's on our website, buttfumblesports.com. The link's in our bio. But you can see here, the hitters that he'll be facing today, though it's a .232 batting average, you may think that's low. For Garrett Cole, that's actually pretty high. For Garrett Cole, a .232 average is pretty high given how big a stud he is. He's given up a home run. He's given up 4 home runs. And even more concerning, 4 different hitters with a home run. You almost wish it was one guy who kind of owned him. But everyone seems to have decent licks off of him. Harold Ramirez, we mentioned him earlier, a .625 average. Paredes, .273. Mejia, .333. Diaz, .295. Arozarena is not great at .258, 11 strikeouts, but he does have 8 hits. So for a number of reasons, I'm not as high on Garrett Cole tonight. So it's not that I like Tampa Bay's pitcher because they're in that opener situation and that always leaves me cautious. But I like the Rays on a run line of +1.5 tonight. Again, you're getting that at -135. That to me is the play. Okay, we just hit 2,000 likes because you guys are freaking awesome and you were hitting that like button, being a great audience and helping us out. So we're going to give you another one of our favorite bets of the day. Thus far, we've given out 2, one for hitting 1,000 likes and one because La Cub gave us a gift. When we get 1,000 likes or get a gift, we give out one of our favorite bets of the day. We've given out 2 for the Miami Heat New York Knicks game. We will move to, let's go to the other NBA game tonight. Let's go to the other NBA game, and let's go with, I've got a couple lined up. I'm looking for the one I like the most. Let's go with this one. This one's a little bit off the board because I don't talk about this player a lot. D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell, we're going to take over 14.5 points. D'Angelo Russell, over 14.5 points. I'm getting that at -115. You see it here up on our screen. D'Angelo Russell over 14.5 points. And I'm going to show you why I'm into this bet. We're going to go to our prop bet finder. Let's go to Russell. $14.5 points. You see the over is going off. Implied probability 55%. 55%. Diving into it a little bit deeper at at 14.5. Here's the trend that we really like. Russell has exceeded 14.5 points in 13 of his last 14 games after a loss. When he scores, the Lakers win. When he has a good scoring game, the Lakers win. That's been a trend in the regular season. That's been a trend in the playoffs. When D'Angelo Russell scores, because they haven't, it creates the third scorer that LeBron James seems to always need. LeBron James plus Kyrie Irving is not enough. LeBron James plus Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love wins a title. LeBron James actually kind of needs the third scorer because LeBron James isn't actually someone who scores more than anyone else on the floor. He is a facilitator. So he's better when he has other players who score and go off. D'Angelo Russell has often been that player. We talked about Lonnie Walker. We talked about Austin Reeves at times. But actually, D'Angelo Russell, he's kind of the Tyrese Maxey of the Los Angeles Lakers. When he plays well and when he scores, the Lakers win. I think LeBron James is very aware of analytics and aware of stats. I actually think sometimes he caters his game knowing the fact that a certain stat leads to a win. I think he's aware of this. I like D'Angelo Russell over 14.5. And again, this is after a loss. So this trend here, you may go, oh, it's only 3 out of the last 5. But it's after a loss. They involve him. They get him going. I like that he's also at home. I like him at home. On the road, different story. I think D'Angelo Russell on the road can get a little off his game, but when he's at home and he's doing his ice in the veins and the fans are behind him, D'Angelo Russell is a much more dangerous offensive player. I think he's someone who doesn't play villain well. I actually think he loves the love of the fans. So when he has the support of Laker fans at home, I think he's better. I think LeBron James knows he has to get him involved. And we don't know the status of Anthony Davis. That is the big mystery of tonight. No matter what, D'Angelo Russell needs to be a scorer. As a facilitator, fine, but that won't get the Lakers a win, especially, again, if Anthony Davis isn't 100%, even at 85 or 80%, they need D'Angelo Russell. It's why I like this play. So again, because we hit 2,000 likes, we gave out one of our favorite bets of the day. We've already hit 3,000 likes because you guys are awesome. You're hitting that like button. You're showing your love for Butt Fumble Sports. So because of that, I want to give out another one of our favorite bets of the day. Again, every time we hit another 1,000 likes or you guys give a gift on TikTok Live, we'll give out one of our favorite bets of the day. And to make sure there's a in the fine print, here's the little note. These aren't guarantees. We do not make guarantees here. What I'm saying is these are our favorite picks of the day based off of trends. We do our research. We love data. We try to find the best trends that are going to hit. So these are the best bets based off of trends. This isn't my opinion. This isn't us trying to hype up one certain play. This is us going, what are the best trends based off of the data? Here are 3 so far. We owe you a 4th because you guys hit that like button like maniacs and got us up to 3,000 likes. So I'm going to give you another one. Another one of our favorite bets of the day. Let's go with... Okay, this is one where I wouldn't be surprised. Again, this is a bit of a risk, but we're, again, going off of a trend here. So even though my heart says one thing, I'm going off what my head's telling me on this one. Here it is. Steph Curry. Under 32.5 points. Again, this is one that was really tough for me. I really wanted to go, oh, this trend's not going to play, right? But the trends really strongly go on the underside. And part of me thinks this is going to be a Klay night. Klay Thompson in Game 6, we've seen that story come true before. So part of me thinks that it could be the supporting cast. But let's go into it why I feel so strongly about Steph Curry under 32.5 points. So here, implied probability is 50%. So you don't feel great about that, obviously. And for good reason. It's Steph Curry. Implied probability, even an algorithm knows Steph Curry can go off any given night. But here's the trend that we really like behind this one. Steph Curry has failed to exceed 32.5 points in 12 of his last 13 games on the road. The Warriors have been a bad road team all year. They were bad against the spread. They were bad on the money line. They are not a good road team. Now, they had a better, obviously, road experience in the last series against the Sacramento Kings. Is that bucking the trend, or is that an outlier against an opponent that they got to know well? In the Staples Center, we saw games 3 and 4. They lost. They have lost on the road in this series. They lost on the road in the regular series. I got to go with the trend. So like I said, my heart's telling me one thing. My heart's saying it's Steph Curry, big game. Steph Curry's going to come through with a big scoring night. But my head's telling me the trend's on the under. Just look at it. The trend's on the under. So under 32.5 points, and the fact that I'm getting it at minus 135, I got to feel good about it. Again, it's one, if you want to fade us on it, I totally understand. It's kind of tough to swallow, especially if you're a Golden State Warriors fan thinking that Curry's going to go under that. But we're going to go under 32.5 points. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you're hitting that follow button. Make sure you follow Butt Fumble Sports. And again, we will have an exclusive show for subscribers after we finish our regular show today. So if you subscribe, you'll be able to comment in ways that you won't be able to if you don't subscribe. So make sure you guys subscribe to Butt Fumble Sports today. Jake, first of all, Jake, Love DMing with you. Yeah, love the fact that you guys like to interact with us off the air and DM us when our bets hit. So, Jake, good to hear from you today. Jake is asking, Draymond 10 points going to happen? I agree. Steph under points. I got him around 26. Yeah, that feels right. Like 26, 28 points. If he got to 30, okay. 32 feels a little high. Again, in part because, one, the Lakers have covered Curry really well. Two, I expect Clay and some of the supporting cast, Poole, Wiggins, to have a better game than they've had the last few nights. And again, the trend about Curry on the road speaks for itself. But let's look into that Draymond Green. You brought up Draymond Green and what his point total would be. We talked about that the other night. Now, you're a Michigan State fan, so I'm sure you were loving that Tom Izzo was at the game, and I'm sure you have a lot of love for Draymond Green, no matter what his point total is at. But let's look at what we have it at set at now. Under 9.5 is an implied probability of 50%. Now, I actually love what I saw from him yesterday, in the last game. Draymond Green was aggressive from the jump. I think the Warriors are better when he's aggressive. We talk about the 76ers being better when James Harden is aggressive. The same can be said for Draymond Green. When Harden's aggressive, the 76ers are a title caliber team. When Draymond Green is aggressive, the Warriors may be the best team in the world. So I would love to see him bring that same mentality, but it's different doing it on the road compared to at home. So let's dive into it just a little bit. Draymond Green, this is what gives me caution. We're looking at the under on this. You just see the inconsistency of points. Is he going to have back-to-back games like this? Can we really trust that Draymond Green is going to put back-to-back good offensive games together? When it comes to being a facilitator, I feel like we can have confidence. Draymond Green passing it, being involved in the offense, finding open shooters. I almost like his assist total more tonight. I actually may like his rebound total as well, depending on Anthony Davis's health. But points total, can we rely on Draymond Green to have back-to-back good nights? Tough. Look back on his offensive performances in elimination games. Where can we find that? Jake, is there a place where we could find that? I'm more than happy to look that up, but maybe we have to have the research and the data to find it. I don't know if there's a tool out there that you can find that at. By the way, on the road, last 5 games, last 20 on the road, he's not as good on the road. He's just not. You want to go farther, head to head? He's done it once. I don't know. For me, I feel like it's under 9.5. I feel like that's the better play. So for so many reasons, under 9.5 feels like the better play on Draymond Green tonight. Again, I'd love to see the aggressive nature that he had in Game 5 come out again, but the likelihood of that happening feels like, again, the implied probability on this play was 50%. I feel like the likelihood of it actually happening is closer to 40%. I'd rather it be on the 60% probability and take the under 9.5 points. Appreciate all of those watching and joining us on Instagram Live with our behind-the-scenes view. Yes, it's the green screen, so forgive us, but if you watch on TikTok Live or on YouTube, you can see all of the stats and research that we're putting up on the screen all at one time. So whether you want to follow us or fade us, you get all the information right in front of you, so that way you can make the smartest plays of the day and hopefully cash some money so you can have a great weekend with all your winnings. Mario, got some MLB plays? We do. We just need some people to hit that like button. How about this? The next time we hit another 1,000 like benchmark to give out one of our favorite bets of the day, we will give out one of our MLB picks of the day, which have been red hot. Over the last 3 days, we are 8 for 9 in our MLB game picks. Those are total or money line plays. So guys, either you can give us a gift on TikTok Live, just like Lockup did. We'll give out a pick right away. Or because most of you guys just like to hit the like button, hit the like button, get us up to a 4,000 likes, and we will give out another one of our favorite bets of the day. So hit that like button if you're watching on TikTok Live. Getting a question in from YouTube. Appreciate you guys watching on YouTube. That is, I think, the best way to watch the show. Do you like Wiggins under points? He is dealing with a rib injury, supposedly from last game. Yeah, I am curious. Let's look at Wiggins really quick. That's a great question. So we just looked at Draymond Green's point total. Let's look at Andrew Wiggins. How do we feel about Andrew Wiggins on his point total? I want to step back out for 1 second. So Andrew Wiggins' point total, you see the over 13.5 has an implied probability of 53%. 14.5, now we're at 50-50. Interesting, you could still get the over 15.5 and it still has a 50% chance of happening. Let's look at this at 14.5 points. Let's look at it at 14.5 points. Now, the rib injury has me slightly concerned, but I like what I'm seeing here in terms of trend. 14.5 points. He's hit it 8 of the last 9 games. Like that. Let's see how he's done away. He's hit it 4 of his last, in his last 4 road games, forgive me. In these last 20 games on the road, over his last 20, he's hit that all but once. For a number of reasons, I really like Andrew Wiggins over 14.5 points tonight. We're getting that at minus 113 on FanDuel. Minus 113 on FanDuel at over 14.5 points. Often, guys, you'll see us like to put some of our research bets onto our favorite bets of the day. We've hit 2 out of the last 3 of those. We're going to do it again for this one. So, again, this kind of also plays into, and oftentimes you'll see me do this, I want to kind of stay with the trends, but I also want to follow, I don't want to say a narrative, but if the trends start to kind of all flow in a similar direction, I build more confidence. So the fact that I like Steph Curry under 32 points, where are the Warriors going to get some of their additional scoring? Andrew Wiggins makes sense. So I'll also add Andrew Wiggins over 14.5 points to one of our favorite bets of the day. Again, I'm getting that at minus 113. Love that bet. Obviously, we're doing it because of the trends lean in that direction. So we'll add this, we'll tack this on to one of our favorite bets of the day. Andrew Wiggins over 14.5 points. We love it. Appreciate it, Dave. Thank you so much for following us. Make sure you're like Dave and you hit that follow button, whether you're watching on Instagram Live, TikTok Live, or YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow us. That way you know every time we're live. But Fumble Sports is live on all these platforms every single day. Every day we are live on Instagram Live, TikTok Live, and YouTube Live. And that way we give out our picks, analysis, and engage with you guys every single day. So make sure you hit that follow button. That way you're always a part of our show. Okay, answering a few questions that we see on Instagram Live. Didn't want to get away from you here. Okay, Sir Isaac, what's the NBA? What are some of our NBA plays? So one of the plays we mentioned earlier is we do like Miami on the money line tonight, but we like the Knicks to cover. And we actually found a good way of actually getting that bet at really favorable odds. We got it at, you can get it at anywhere from plus 6.5 all the way up to plus 10.5. And we feel like the odds are pretty strong in terms of the value you're getting back. So for that reason, we do like the Knicks to cover from 6.5 to 10.5. Feels like a really strong window to bet them, but we do like Miami on the money line tonight. The only issue with them on the money line, the only issue, and I'm going to bring it up, I was going to do this research mid-show, so it feels like a good time to do this. We talk about this every once in a while. The impact of referees. The impact of referees and umpires. And one of the things we talk about is there's a place you can go using basketballreference.com, which is an outstanding website where you can actually find how teams have done with a certain referee. Now, Scott Foster, the referee, has become infamous in the NBA for, extending a series or calling games in a certain way in which you go, man, feels like Chris Paul always loses when Scott Foster is the referee. Well, something similar can be said about the Miami Heat. Scott Foster, let's show his stats. Here you see it, right there on the screen. If you're watching on Instagram, you can't, but I'm going to share it with you. If you're watching on TikTok Live or on YouTube, just look at this. This year, Scott Foster has been the lead official in 5 Miami Heat games. What's the record for the Miami Heat? 0-5. So, I like Miami on the money line tonight, even with Scott Foster. However, why do we like New York to cover 6.5 to 10.5 so much? Because if you told me Scott Foster let Miami win the game, okay. But do I think Miami's going to win a blowout tonight with Scott Foster on the whistle? I do not. So Knicks, Chris Cal on Instagram, you may be absolutely right. Yeah, joked as the extender, the series extender. I still think Miami's going to win at home. I'm not enough of a believer to believe in curses, conspiracy theories, but do I think that the Miami Heat are going to be in a closer game than 6.5 points tonight? You can bet your dollar on it. I'm betting my dollar on it. By the way, 1 point, negative 13.5 point differential. Negative 13.2 point differential when he's the referee. Now, let's shift it over just so we're playing it fair. Let's look at the let's look at the New York Knicks with Scott Foster, because you don't want to get into the narrative that he just hates the Miami Heat and you don't do the proper research and look on the other side. But if I do look on the other side and I look at Scott Foster with the New York Knicks, 4-2. And look at the point differential. So the Knicks are positive 11.5 point differential. And what's Miami? Negative 13.2. If that doesn't give you incentive to bet the Knicks at plus 6.5, I don't know what to tell you. I could tell you all the trends in the world. I can tell you about Julius Randle, like had a great night's sleep, or Jalen Brunson got his braids done right. The only thing to me that could give me more confidence is to know Jimmy Butler can't play because of his ankle. But Jimmy Butler's playing, so I don't want to create fake news. But Scott Foster being the referee for tonight's game, that's why Knicks plus 6.5 feels like a really strong play. Really strong play. Chris Cal on Instagram Live says he's sitting on an LA series ticket favorite tonight or underdogs. I did 6.5, too many points, the world on the Heat. Yeah, exactly. By the way, I agree with you on this point. And we brought this up, and I'm going to put it up on the screen now because I want to remind you guys, we started our show with this, but we kind of have some rules for betting or some beliefs to how we do our sports betting. And you'll see one of the ones we put up there is number 3. If everyone feels the same way about a bet, be cautious. Be very cautious. Now, I say that on both ways with this Heat-Knicks game. Everyone's going to tell you about Scott Foster. Everyone's going to bring him up. So that's one of the reasons I'm not automatically saying Knicks on the money line. I think Miami's going to win. Miami actually is the stronger play at home after a loss. I like Miami to win. So don't jump on the Scott Foster play all the way. Be cautious. That said, a lot of people like Miami to win. Be on both sides of it. I like being on both sides of the seesaw. I could win both ways. I'll take Miami on the money line. I'll take Knicks at plus 6.5. One of those is going to cash. I bet you it's going to be both. By the way, Chris, I'm a huge fade the public guy. Huge fade the public guy. But that has to be such like a consensus bet. That has to be a New England Patriots, New York Giants Super Bowl consensus play. We don't have any of those tonight. I actually think there are enough people betting on the Warriors to go 7 that I actually like the Lakers at -3 tonight. I like the home teams to win tonight. I like the home teams on the money line. I like the Knicks to cover. I like the Lakers to cover tonight. I think the Lakers are in end it mode. And I think LeBron James historically, when he's in end it mode, you got to feel confident about it. The fact that Anthony Davis will be on the floor, I think is the most important factor. If he wasn't healthy, that would really concern me. Okay, getting a question in from YouTube. Is Game 6 Clay a thing? Do you think he's going to go off today either over his point total or his 3-point total? Let's check it out. And while we do that, make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Again, every time you guys either give us a gift on TikTok or you get us up another 1,000 likes. So what are we going for? We're going for 5,000 likes, I believe. Once we get to 5,000 likes, we will give out another one of our favorite bets of the day. So make sure you're hitting that like button. Get us up to that total. Appreciate all of you guys joining us across all of the platforms that we're on. TikTok Live, Instagram Live, and YouTube. The next trend that we're looking into, or the next piece of research that we're doing to help you guys out, We wanted to help this question out coming on Instagram or on YouTube Live rather, which is Klay Thompson. Do we like his point total tonight? So let's dive into our Outlier app and do our research. Do we like Klay Thompson tonight on his point total? Now, off the bat, 23.5 points, the under, implied probability of 61%. That's not surprising. 23.5 feels very, very high given how he's performed of late. Now, obviously, Game 6 Klay is its own beast. You got to be very wary. Game 6 Klay is a thing. It is a thing. We've seen it enough times. But this is where I'm willing to actually do our research, is over 21.5 points. Over 21.5 points. Let's see if we find some good data here. Now, this has been ice cold of late. This has been ice cold of late. In his last 10, you see it's hit half the time. But more importantly, 3 over the last 5 he's missed. You feel like the Lakers have done a much better job on him. And what really concerns me is his 2 games in LA, he didn't show up. And I actually expected Klay to have a much better game in LA than he did. Everyone talked about how he grew up a Laker fan. His dad obviously played for the Lakers. Everyone expected that Klay Thompson would have some kind of breakout game, and he didn't. And I wonder if the pressure actually got to him tonight, or got to him in the first 2 games in LA. I wonder if he's feeling that kind of overhyped pressure of himself. So for a number of reasons, I'm not crazy about it. I'm aware of Game 6 Klay. I wouldn't bet his total because of that, because I feel like the trends may not speak to who we see tonight. But if I had to go in one direction, I'm not going to go off of the last 5 years. I'm going to go off of the last 5 games. What have I seen? I'm going to play the under. I'm going to play the under 21.5 points. If I did have to take an under, if I had to take a point total for Klay Thompson, what do I really want to do? If I'm going to play his point total, I'm not going to take it at 21.5. I'll take it at like 23.5. I'll take it at, and I'll take it even lower. But the point is, I think Klay could go off, and that's one of the reasons I'd be a little cautious. I would not want to dive headfirst into going on his under. But if someone's asking me which play is stronger based on the trends, it's certainly the under 21.5 points, under 22.5 points for Klay Thompson. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Let's get up to, what do we need to get to, Blease? Let us know. Is it 4,000 or 5,000? Let's say it's 5,000. Let's get up to 5,000 likes. Let's give out another one of our favorite bets of the day. Or you can give us a gift, and we'll give out one of our favorite bets right away. We haven't given out as many today as we have the past few days. Not as many people hitting that like button. So hit that like button. Let's give out one of our favorite bets of the day. Hit that like button as many times as you can. Let's make sure we give those out. I want to give out as many as possible. Now, we're live from 3 to 5 today in our open space. I wanted to make sure, like always, we have a 2-hour show from 3 to 5 today. But I'm going to stay live after 5 o'clock, but it's only going to be for subscribers on TikTok Live. So if you subscribe, you'll be able to ask questions. We'll stay on, but it's only going to be exclusively on TikTok Live for subscribers. So make sure you guys subscribe. So if you want to ask exclusive questions, get help with your bets, we'll talk some DFS as lineups are made available across baseball. So make sure you guys subscribe, and that way you'll be able to see our exclusive show after. That starts at 5 o'clock. Now, we just hit 4,000 likes. Just hit 4,000 likes, so there we go. That's what we're talking about. Now let's give out one of our favorite bets of the day. Appreciate all those who are hitting that like button on Instagram as well. Let's give out another one of our favorite bets of the day. And it's about time I gave out one of my MLB picks, because everybody likes our MLB picks. Those have been red hot. Like I said, we are 8 for 9 over the last 3 days on our favorite MLB game picks of the day. So them being red hot, we want to give them out once again. Here we go. And again, the big factor in this, and I'm going to show it up on the screen right now, what really is driving a lot of our research is this Ballpark Pal website. Great place to find how the weather is going to impact the scoring across Major League Baseball. And look at one of the things we're showing right here. Target field. The wind is blowing in. Windy game. The likelihood of a home run is down 34%. the likelihood of runs being scored is down 11%. Oh, and by the way, what's the starting pitcher matchup? Drew Smyly, who's been on fire for the Chicago Cubs this season, up against Sonny Gray, who at home this year has a 0.72 ERA. So because the weather and the starting pitchers both go in a certain direction, which way are we going to go? We're going to take the under, or we're going to take, Cubs, Twins, under 8.5 runs. We got that. Let's make sure we're showing what the odds are for that. I want to go to Outlier to make sure we're showing that correctly. So for that game, we got it at 8.5 runs in that Twins. Where is that? In that Twins Cubs game. Oh, it's already down to 7.5. Let's see where the 8.5 is. We got it at under 8.5 at minus 145. I'm still going to take it there. I'm still going to take it at the minus. Here, let me shift up so you guys can see. We're taking it at under 8.5 at minus 145. So, because we hit 4,000 likes, we're giving out another one of our favorite bets of the day. Cubs, Twins, under 8.5 runs. You're getting that at minus 145. That's moved at a lot of sports books to 7.5. I would, Real Bordeaux, I'd still take it at 7.5, but that's not what the best bet was. So I'm putting out what the best bet was, the one that we loved. We did our research on last night that took us from 6 to midnight. It was 8.5. I still like it at 7.5, but obviously not as much. At minus 145, I still love that bet. I could parlay it with something else, or I could just live with the minus 145. But I don't have a problem betting minus 145. A lot of people only like plus bets. That's an easy way to lose a lot of money. Minus 145, that's fine with me. So we've hit 5,000 likes. You guys are just crushing it by hitting that like button. So we actually owe you another one of our favorite bets of the day. And I'm going to stick with baseball. By the way, this should be, under 8.5. And we're also going to look at the Texas Rangers on the money line. Texas Rangers on the money line. We're getting this at minus 190. Texas Rangers, they're facing the Oakland Athletics. Martin Perez is on the mound for the Rangers tonight. Martin Perez against the Oakland hitters. 188 career batting average, just 2 RBIs, only 1 walk to 5 Ks. The Rangers are 4-1 in their last 5 road games. The Athletics are 0-6 in their last 6 games versus the AL West. The Rangers are 7-2 in their last 9 games with a total set between 7 and 8.5 runs. For so many reasons, we love the Rangers on the money line today. Oh, Casey coming through for everybody. Casey just gave the gift of a raccoon. So we will go through the garbage and we will give out another one of our favorite bets of the day. Appreciate it, Casey. Casey gave us some gifts yesterday, so he's been a big help to everybody, helping us give out some more of our favorite bets of the day. Casey, because you gave that gift, I'm actually going to double down on a bet that we've already given out, but I'm going to go with it in a slightly different direction. So, this Cubs-Twins game, we said take it at under 8.5 or under 8 runs, under 7.5. All of those are good plays. However, there is another one related to this game that we like, and we're giving this out as a thank you to Casey, who just gave us a gift. Casey, check this one out. We like the Cubs. Now, I originally had, I want to see what it is before I want to make sure I give the odds out correctly. So, we're on this Cubs Twins game. Now, we love the run line. We love the run line at minus 155. However, we are going to be a bit risky tonight. We're going to be a bit risky, a bit daring, and we're actually going to take the Cubs on the money line. Now, I'm saying this now, and I'm going to put it up on the board. Cubs on the run line is the better play. Cubs on the run line is the better play, and we would obviously advise that first. That's Cubs plus 1.5 on the run line at minus 155. That's the better play. That's the smarter play. That's the more cautious play. However, Casey, you gave us a gift. We're taking a bit of a chance here. Drew Smyly against the Minnesota hitters, 239 average, no home runs, only 3 RBIs. And Sonny Gray against Chicago hitters, 312 batting average, 2 home runs, 15 RBIs. Plus, the Cubs are 7-1 in their last 8 games following a day off. The Cubs are 4-0 in their last 4 interleague road games. And the Twins are 2-5 in their last 7 interleague games. So because the trends and because the starting pitchers, though they both work towards an under, the Cubs actually have the stronger play. So we're going to take a bit of a chance, and we're going to take the Cubs on the money line. We're getting it here at plus 136. That's what we'll put out here. So we'll also put Cubs money line plus 136 up on the board. Thank you, Casey, for the gift. Hope everyone appreciates Casey's gift, because now you're getting a few more of our favorite bets of the day. You can see we really like this Cubs-Twins game. We like it under. We like Cubs plus 1.5 on the run line. I also like Cubs on the money line. So you see, I'm doubling down on that game. Low scoring. Think the Cubs are going to win. Think the Cubs are going to keep it close if they don't win. So all over on the Cubs on the under on that one. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Do we have any questions in? Want to hear a LA real bet? LA real bet. Well, that'll be our next favorite bet that we give out. So hit that like button. Let's get up to 6,000 likes, or you can be like Casey and give us a gift. Once one of those two things happen, we will give out another one of our favorite bets of the day, and I guarantee this one will be about the Golden State Warriors Los Angeles Lakers game. So if you want another bet from that one, we'll absolutely go for that. Confident on the Rangers and the Cubs. I feel very confident about the Rangers. Cubs, my confidence level would probably be like a 7 out of 10. So certainly higher than 50%. But IP Shade 45 coming through, giving the gift of a cactus. Thank you so much, IP Shade 45. And because of that, we have another bet to give out. You guys are awesome. Appreciate the support you guys are showing us. So every time we hit another 1,000 likes or someone gives a gift, we give out one of our favorite bets of the day. And again, these aren't guarantees. These are bets where the trends are really strong. So because of that, we're going to give out another one. We've already given out 2 of our favorite bets around the Lakers-Warriors game. We had D'Angelo Russell over 14.5 points. We had Steph Curry under 32.5 points. Then mid-show, we did some research, and we took Andrew Wiggins over 14.5 points. But we have another one that we want to give out. Now, this one, again, this is a heart-head debate. You know, we talked about this a moment ago with Steph Curry. Your heart says Curry's going to score. Your head goes, yeah, but he hasn't in the series. He hasn't on the road. So you go with what your head's telling you. This is very similar. Our next best bet that we're going to give out, because IP Shade gave us the gift of that cactus. Thank you so much, IP Shade 45. Here is our next favorite bet of the day. It is LeBron James under points plus assists. Now, you guys have known, if you guys have been watching over the last few days, we have been a very big fan of LeBron James over his assist total. It didn't hit last game, and so we finally kind of started, you know, the run of luck had ended. He had hit it in something like 5 or 6 straight games. But that said, we looked at the trends for his point and assist total tonight, and this is what we found. LeBron James has failed to exceed 32.5 points plus assists in 11 of his last 12 games against an opponent with a winning percentage or a winning record. So he's obviously playing a winning team in the Golden State Warriors. He hasn't gone above, I didn't put the number up here, my bad. He hasn't gone above 33.5 points and assists combined in 11 of his last 12 games against a team with a winning record. So because of that, IP Shade 45, that's the bet we're giving out, is LeBron James under 33.5 points plus assists. You're getting that at minus 145. IP Shade, thank you guys. Thank you so much for the gift. Certainly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Cabell is asking about the Orioles-Pirates under 9 runs. So immediately, I'm going to go to this website that we've been using it, Ballpark Pal. Again, there are a couple websites that we use for data. I love sharing those with you. Outlier is one of them. That requires a subscription. If you guys want a free 7-day trial, DM us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube or Twitter, I'll give you a link that gives you a free 7-day trial, but eventually you'll have to pay for it. Ballpark Pal, excuse me, just lost my voice for a second. Ballpark Pal is a website that's free. It's someone who just developed a great algorithm that shows you how the weather each day impacts the offense in every MLB game. How it impacts home runs, extra base hits, singles, and overall runs. So, Cabell on TikTok Live is asking about the Orioles-Pirates under 9. Well, you're going to love seeing this. Likelihood of runs being scored. There is no game today that has a greater likelihood of getting fewer runs than the Orioles game. 13% less likely that there are going to be a lot of runs scored in that game. So already, Cabell, I like the under. Home runs, less. Just look at the weather. The wind blowing left is blowing right to left, so that short porch in right field isn't available. Remember, Camden Yards, they've extended left field, so left field is much deeper now. And not only that, it's not blowing in, or not blowing out rather, it's blowing in. So you don't have the shorter porch in right field, and it's blowing in. The under already feels like a strong play. Now, that's based off of the weather. We don't just want to do it based off the weather. We also want to look at the game overall and look at the trends here on Outlier. Now, if we're looking at the trends on the total, this line has also moved. This line has shifted up, which you gotta love if you want to take the under. I don't think people are aware of the weather conditions. So they're assuming because it's the Orioles and the Orioles have been scoring runs that this is a good play. I don't feel that way. I'd much rather be playing on the under. Yeah. So that does answer the question. I like the under on this one. You can go towards the trends. You can go towards the weather. For a number of reasons, the under is the stronger play for me. I do want to look at the starting pitcher matchup. Let's show it on the screen here. So, Kyle Bradish, Johan Oviedo. Not great starting pitchers. I understand maybe that's why some people are jumping on the over, but I like the under. I like the under on that one. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you guys are following us on TikTok Live, Instagram Live, and on YouTube. Make sure you're hitting that follow button. That way you know every time we're live. Again, we're going to be live every single day. So different times, it depends on when the games start. So when there's day baseball, we're earlier in the day. When there's night baseball, sometimes we're later like we are today. Make sure you're following us. That way you know every time we're live. Hit that follow button. That way you know every time we jump on live. And again, we were live today. We're live today from 3 to 5. We will also stay live after 5 o'clock, but that will be exclusively for subscribers on TikTok Live. So it won't be on YouTube. It won't be on Instagram. It will only be on TikTok Live for those that subscribe. So make sure you subscribe to us on TikTok Live. That way you can ask questions. We will exclusively answer your questions. So make sure you subscribe on TikTok Live. Okay, Frankie is asking about Spencer Strider over/under on strikeouts. Just for reference, Frankie, what are you getting as the total for his strikeouts tonight? I just want to see it because that'll determine how we look at the bet. So let us know what the total. We'll look at the over/under based off of it. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Love the community that we have here at Fumble Sports. Make sure you're a part of it. Hit that follow button. Frank, total for the Spencer Strider, because we have it up here on the screen. I'm just curious to know what you saw it at, because I want to base our research off of that. So if Frankie is still watching, throw that total in the comment section, Frankie. And if not, we'll dive into it anyways, because it's a good play. Because that over, you can see, over 7.5. Look at the implied probability. Maybe you can't. 7.5, over 7.5, implied probability, 63%. Now, I am wary of Spencer Strider a little bit tonight. He's facing a Blue Jays offense that obviously can put some runs on the board. And when I went to the Ballpark Pal app, you can see Rogers Center, not, even though the likelihood of runs isn't as high as it could be, the -3 isn't terrible, so I feel like there could be runs scored tonight. The wind is blowing in. I don't think they have the dome. I think it's going to be an open night. I think that's why they're not showing the dome here on the screen. So the whole point is, extra base hits, though, they have a greater probability. So I am a little wary of Spencer Strider tonight, if I'm being fair. But looking at his strikeout total, 7.5. He's hit that 5. Look at that. Look at that. If you're taking Spencer Strider at 7.5, that has been a strong play. Now, the one time he missed it was last October in the postseason. So this year, Spencer Strider over 7.5 strikeouts has hit every game. So, guys, we have done this a couple times over the course of 7.5. You're getting it at over 7.5, -170. Let's turn that into another one of our favorite bets of the day. So, guys, every once in a while we'll find a bet during our show that just the trends say it's a great play. We don't want to miss it. Spencer Strider over 7.5 strikeouts, and we're getting that at -170. So you can put it on the board. Yes, sir. Another one of our favorite bets of the day. Frankie kind of jumped out of the chat. He asked the question, but never got the answer to what he had the strikeout total at. But in doing our research, 100% of the time this season, Spencer Strider has hit over 7.5 strikeouts. Now, obviously, again, Toronto is a good hitting team, but we'll play with it. Over 7.5, that's worth it to us. I mean, just look at this stat. Strikeouts per 9, 15. He's averaging 15. So Spencer Strider, we like that play tonight. Spencer Strider over 7.5 strikeouts. We put that one up on the board as another one of our favorite bets of the day. Appreciate all of you on YouTube. We can answer those as well. Boston hot out. Anyways, thought on +1.5. -110 A's. I know you said Rangers. They opened at -120. I would not touch the A's. I wouldn't touch the A's on the run line. I wouldn't touch the A's on the money line. If I would be more inclined to take the Rangers on the run line than I would the A's on the run line. I would rather take Rangers -1.5 than Oakland +1.5. I don't like the pitching matchup for them. I don't like the fact that the Rangers have played good baseball of late. For a number of reasons, the weather, everything. I like the Rangers tonight. I wouldn't touch Oakland, whether it's on the money line or on the run line. Just would not be a play for me. That was a question we got in from YouTube. By the way, it is hot in Boston tonight. It is hot in Boston. And I say that not just for those who are watching in Boston, but look at our weather report. Look at our ballpark pal. Fenway Park, the likelihood of runs is up 9%. 9%. We love that. Oh, by the way, Coors Field, +17% that runs are going to be scored. So talk about a strong play. Over Phillies Rockies. To give a teaser for our daily fantasy lineup, you can check that out on our website, buttfumblesports.com, or on our Instagram account at buttfumblesports. But in our DFS lineup, we have stacked hitters from the Phillies, the Rockies, the Cardinals, and the Red Sox. We absolutely did look at the weather, and we said those are the two games that are going to have the most runs scored by the weather. Let's double down. Let's make sure that we're giving that out and playing to that. Obviously, we also looked at which hitters have like a favorable matchup against the starting pitcher, but we love the offense in these two games. So Phillies, Rockies, Cardinals, Red Sox, expect runs to be scored. They're the only two games with a plus probability, a positive probability on runs being scored. So for a number of reasons, feel strong about that. It is a hot one in Boston. It's warm. The wind is blowing out. You see that the likelihood of a home run is down. That's because the wind's blowing out to the deepest part of the ballpark. But doubles, way high. So like Verdugo, Devers, Justin Turner, Masa Yoshida. There are a number of left-handed hitters in the Red Sox lineup who I would take at over 1.5 total bases over 1.5 total bases, and the reason for that is I expect these guys to hit doubles. I don't think they're going to hit home runs. Like, I don't think Devers is going to hit a home run. I don't expect Verdugo to hit a home run, but I could see those guys getting doubles. So over 1.5 total bases, I absolutely have my eye on those as well. Appreciate you guys loving that stat. Climb it. That's right. Climb the stairs. Take that ladder. Try to find the probability with the weather that's going to help you out. IP Shade 45 is asking, would you like over 11 runs for the Phillies and Rockies? I do. Now, the reason I like it in part is Taijuan Walker, or Taijuan Walker is not a good pitcher against the Rocky hitters. So that's one of the reasons. Now, Kyle Schwarber, I looked at him for home runs because it's for the Rockies. Alec Bohm, or Bohm, however you pronounce his name. Those are a couple of the hitters that I like to maybe go deep tonight. I could see Schwarber doing it, but the lefty-lefty matchup doesn't feel nearly as good. By the way, keep in mind, look at what I'm showing you on this weather app. It's not saying home runs are greater, so the likelihood of home runs isn't higher in that Rockies-Phillies game. The likelihood of runs is higher. The wind's blowing in, but the likelihood of runs is higher. I think there are going to be a lot of doubles. So again, I wouldn't take Schwarber, one big deal 22. I wouldn't take Schwarber on a home run. I would take, let's say, Nick Castellanos over 1.5 total bases. I think he'll get a double. He might get a home run. But the point is, I like him over 1.5 total bases. That feels like a better play to me. What do you think about the Guardians' first 5 money line? Guardians' first 5 on the money line. So the one thing I'll say about this Guardians-Angels game is I like the under. I showed it. I showed this earlier. Weather here. Likelihood of runs down 16%. Likelihood of runs rather down 7%. Likelihood of home runs down 16%. It's blowing left to right in, so you're not getting the shorter porch in right field either. So for a number of reasons, I like the under in this game. This is actually another bet that I really like is under 8.5 runs in that Angels-Cleveland game. If I had to go in one direction, I would not take Guardians first 5 money line 8.5. I wouldn't. Jesus or Jesus, Jesus. I would not take that one, Jesus. I wouldn't touch it. I like the under much more, but I wouldn't take Guardians straight up on the money line the first 5. I just don't like it. I feel like the under's the stronger play, but I don't feel as confident about the Guardians offense right now. And the Guardians have Logan Allen on the mound. Youngster, don't really know what I'm going to get from him. Tristan, appreciate you joining us. Tristan saying he just got done with work. So I want to make sure for Tristan and everyone else who's missed it, here are our favorite bets of the day so far. The way we get to show our favorite bets is either you guys hit that like button and get us up to another 1,000 likes. Please remind us, what's the next mark we need to hit for likes? Is it 6,000? Is it 7,000? What do we need to hit, please? Anyway, if we hit another 1,000 likes, or if someone gives a gift, we've had a number of people who have given gifts so far today. IP Shade gave a gift. Casey Hammond, La Cub, so we added a couple extra people. Tristan, we need to get to 7K. Okay, let's get there. Let's get to 7K so we can give out another one of our favorite bets of the day. Appreciate you guys so much. You guys have been an incredible audience, so supportive. We are live every single day, as you guys well know. We've got a lot of people now. Boss Lady, Tristan, Jesus, One Big Deal 22. I see a lot of the same names in here, which is just so nice. Casey, a lot of loyal followers. Jake, so great to see people who have come back. Alexander, it makes us feel great. It lets us know that we're doing the right things, trying to serve you guys the right way, giving good information, trying to give you guys everything you need to know. Okay, Jesus, we broke that game down just a little bit. So, Jesus, the Knicks, we went with the over. So we went with the over, and we talked about that trend for a couple of reasons. One, we like that the Miami Heat shooters will probably be better at home. That was one. Two, the line movement has gone towards the under. The line movement's brought that total down. Plus, there are a number of trends that we really like. I'll share those trends with you one more time because you missed them. But the over is 10-1 in the Heat's last 10 home games. The over is 5-1 in the last 6 meetings between the two teams in Miami. And the over is 4-0 in the Heat's last 4 games following an against the spread loss. So for those reasons, we actually like the over in that Knicks Heat game. I know that may surprise a lot of you, but we actually think the line movement may work in our favor in that one. By the way, I want to give a big shout out to everyone on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much. Hope you're subscribing. We try to create a great watching experience, whether it's on Instagram Live, TikTok Live, or on YouTube. So thank you to everyone who's watching on YouTube. And of course, a big shout out to our producer and our man behind the scenes, Blease. You can check him out at Blease NFT. He is an unbelievably creative person, just the best of the best. Blease does a great job behind the scenes, and he's manning our YouTube side. So if you have a question on YouTube and you're worried, can I get to it? Is he going to see it? No worries. We get to every question, no matter the platform. So if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you throw your questions in the chat. And maybe most importantly, make sure you're subscribing. That way, you know every time we're live. For those watching on TikTok Live, once again, at 5 o'clock, we will have an exclusive show just for subscribers. So make sure you guys are subscribing on TikTok Live. That way you can be a part of that exclusive show. Now, that said, we just hit over 7,000 likes because you guys are manimals and you keep hitting that like button. What happens when we hit another 1,000 likes? We give out another one of our favorite bets of the day. And we owe you guys because you guys delivered for us, so we need to deliver for you. So, let's get to another one of our favorite bets of the day. Let's go with, here we go. This is one we haven't talked about yet. This is an MLB player prop bet. We weren't as hot about these earlier in the week, but we changed our strategy, and they're actually doing a lot better now. So we're going to go with Harold Ramirez. Harold Ramirez, forgot the D in his name, who plays for the Tampa Bay Rays. We have Harold Ramirez over half a total base. Now again, we're getting this at minus 210. For some of you, you may not like those odds. You may want to parlay it with one other game or one other opportunity. So, Tristan, you're awesome, man. Thank you so much, Tristan. So, here you go. The reason we like this bet so much is Harold Ramirez, lifetime against Garrett Cole, 8 at-bats, 5 hits. So that's a .625 batting average, which includes a double, and he's only struck out once. So not only does Harold Ramirez have great stats against him, he makes good contact against him. So Harold Ramirez over half a base today at minus 210. It's another one of our favorite bets of the day. And Tristan, because you have just been crushing that like button, we owe you another pick. Because you hit that like button as many times as you did, want to make sure I deliver on that, want to make sure I still show everything on the screen. So we're going to condense some things. For those watching, the reason the asterisk is next to some of these is because those were picks that I didn't have before the show. We did our research during the show and found that those picks were really strong. And again, in case you've missed anything, we do not give out picks based off of our gut, based off of our love of a certain team. My fandom has no bearing or no impact on this. This is all about trends. We look at data, we look at analytics. What are the best bets to make based off of the information? And that's what we try to provide. So if you want to fade us or follow us, that's totally up to you. We never claim to have guarantees or a sure bet. No such thing. But these are the bets based off of the trends that we believe have the greatest likelihood of hitting. That's why we give these out. Okay, now, Drew, talk to him. That's right. Lecturing from our TikTok Live account. All right, enough of that. Giving out another one of our favorite bets of the day. Okay, let's go again. Let's double down on baseball. We talked about that Phillies-Rockies game. Jurickson Profar. We already talked about there's going to be good offensive weather if you like offense in that game when it comes to runs and extra base hits. Not in terms of home runs, but in terms of total runs and extra base hits. We like Jurickson Profar over half a hit, and we're taking that at minus 208. So yes, we're giving out some that are minus 200 kind of bets. Some of you may not like those, but you could parlay them together and get them at much better odds. But that said, Jurgensen Profar against Tajon Walker, 9 at-bats, 4 hits, so a 444 batting average. It's actually, yeah, it's better than that, actually. It's a 444 batting average, 2 home runs. So out of his 4 hits, 2 have been home runs, 3 RBIs, 2 walks, and he's only struck out once. So a 444 batting average plus the 2 home runs. Love it. Love it. We are going to do another one when we hit 10,000 likes. So get us up to 10,000 likes. Once we get to 10,000 likes, we will give out another one of our favorite bets of the day. Tristan is just crushing them. So Tristan, you keep hitting that screen. I'm sure we'll get to 10,000 likes in no time. You guys have been incredible. We have been live for an hour and 40 minutes today. We have another 20 minutes to go in our public show. This is for everybody. Instagram Live. For those watching on Instagram Live, you're getting a behind-the-scenes view, hence the green screen behind me. You're seeing an entirely different broadcast. But hopefully you're listening, taking some notes, and following along on some of our favorite bets and some of the questions that we've answered during the show. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. For all those that are watching, make sure you subscribe. And for those watching on TikTok Live, make sure you follow us. And, of course, make sure you subscribe. If you subscribe, you will be a part of our exclusive show starting at 5 o'clock. That's only going to be for those who subscribe. Again, it could be me and one other person. I don't care. I will give out as many picks, answer as many questions as necessary, but you have to subscribe in order to be a part of that show. So make sure you subscribe on TikTok Live. And by the way, Tristan, beast. Just a beast. Love it, Tristan. Got us up to 10,000 likes, so we have another pick to give out. While I'm looking at the pick to give out, guys, there's a link in our bio, takes you right to our website, buttfumblesports.com. Make sure you hit that link. Check out our website. We put out content every single day. You can go check out our blogs. We put out a daily fantasy lineup every day. We give you our favorite MLB bets. We also give you the hitters who have the best matchup of the day based off of the pitcher. You can already tell we like Jurgensen Profar, hence the picture we used. And we also have our NBA. We also have our... Someone calling on the line. We also give out our NBA plays of the day. So, if you want to get more of our content, more of our information, make sure you go to our website, buttfumblesports.com, and sign up for our free newsletter. While you're there, sign up for the free newsletter, buttfumblesports.com. You hit this little red, takes you right, sign up for the free newsletter. That way you get all of this information. Guys, appreciate the support you're showing us. Because Tristan is a manimal, an absolute crusher of the like button, we owe another one of our favorite bets of the day. And here we go. Next one we're going to give out, another baseball one. Ian Happ, we're going to go with over half a total base. Ian Happ, over half a total base. We're getting that at minus 190. Now you may be saying, hey, Butt Fumble Sports, Sonny Gray's on the mound for the Twins. He's been a stud this year. Do you really want to go with Ian Happ? Here's my reason why. Ian Happ, in his career against Sonny Gray, 4 for 10 with a home run, including a double, 5 RBIs. He's only struck out twice. So Ian Happ, over half a base. We really like that one. It could be a single. It could be an extra base hit. Either way, we're cashing at minus 190. So because we hit 10,000 likes, we gave out another one of our favorite bets of the day. Every time we hit another 1,000 likes or someone gives us a gift, we give out one of our favorite bets of the day. That's how we do things here at Butt Fumble Sports. Real Bordeaux, long-time listener, first-time caller. Yeah. First time, long time. Appreciate all those who have been supporting us for a while. Whether you're new to the show or you're a loyal follower, welcome to Butt Fumble Sports. We're a new sports content company that's entirely built for you, the average sports fan. So make sure you follow us, join us, and participate in our shows. We are live every single day. Every single day. You never want to miss a chance to watch us, join the conversation, ask us questions. So hit that follow button, whether you're watching on TikTok Live, Instagram Live, YouTube Live. Hit that like button, follow us. That way you know every time we're live. And of course, IP Shade bringing the confetti to the building. IP Shade 45, thank you so much for the gift. IP Shade's been bringing it. So because of that, we have another pick to give out. Look at all these picks we're giving out. By the way, that is also one thing I'm going to say. The more picks we give out, the likelihood that they're all right goes down. So I understand we're going to have misses. You guys saw at the beginning of the show. We admit what we get right. We admit what we get wrong. But again, the picks that we give out are based off of trends. What hits off of trends. We owe you a pick because IP Shade hit that confetti button. Thank you so much, IP Shade. Okay, another pick we have to give out. Let me go into my bag and let's see what we got here. Oh, got one. We're going to stick with baseball. As you can tell, I actually did a lot of baseball research this morning because we had so many games. So for that reason, I'm going to give out another one. And then Tristan, I will answer your question once I give out this pick about which ones I have the most confidence in. Want to make sure I do that. And then, by the way, Drew, then we'll get to your question. Drew, 7382. So the order will go in as I'm about to give a pick to pay off IP Shade giving us that confetti. Then Tristan, I'll go through this and kind of give my confidence level about some of these picks. And then Drew will answer your Max Strus question. So that's what we have loaded up in the docket. Here's the pick we're giving out. Adolis Garcia over half a hit. So we expect him to get a hit tonight. And we're getting that at minus 208. So again, these baseball plays, you may go, oh, I don't like the minus 200. Well, maybe you want to parlay it, but we actually like these plays. And we're going to tell you why we came up with these. And you're going to hear it in these trends. So Garcia against Ken Waldichuk, the starting pitcher of the Oakland Athletics, 2 for 2 lifetime. Only has has 3 at bats against him, but is 2 for 2 with a home run, a double, and a walk. I didn't mean to put total. I meant to put hits. By the way, you could also make this bases, so over half a hit. But the point is, he's 2 for 2 lifetime, home run, double, and a walk. Sees him well. It's a lefty-righty matchup. The weather's in our favor. We like this one. Garcia over half a hit. So that was the pick we gave out because IP Shade gave us that confetti. Another pick that we add to our list. Now, to pay off Tristan, we want to, because Tristan's been hitting that like button so much, I want to make sure, Tristan, that we pay that off. So, Tristan, here are the ones we have real confidence in. Bam Adebayo over 8.5 rebounds. We're at like 55%, 60% confidence. Over 7.5 rebounds, I'm at like 85%. I feel really confident about the 7.5 rebounds. It's been a really strong play. Jimmy Butler over 1.5 steals. I put my confidence level at about 75%, 80%. Feel really strong about that one as well. D'Angelo Russell at 14.5 points. I put my confidence at closer to like 6.5 or 6.5 out of 10. So like 65%, maybe closer to 60, but about 65%. So still way above a 50-50. Steph Curry under 32.5. That's closer to like 55% confidence. That feels a bit riskier. LeBron James under 33.5 points plus assists. Same thing. Bit riskier. Feel like it's like a 55% confidence percentage. Andrew Wiggins over 14.5%. My only concern is about his ribs. So that was an in-show research bet. That's kind of 50-50 for me. But the trends say it's a good play, so I put it on the board. Cubs Twins under 8.5. I'm at like 80% confidence. 2 starting pitchers who are pitching well. The weather says this is going to be a lower scoring game. I'm at like 80-85% on Cubs Twins under 8.5 runs. Cubs plus 1.5 on the money line. I'm at like 60-65%. Cubs on the money line. I'm at like 55%. So again, more confident about the Cubs obviously covering on the run line. Rangers on the money line, I'd probably say I'm at like 70% confidence, 75%. Strider over 7.5 strikeouts. I'd probably say like 65% confidence, 70% confidence. And then for all of these, I'm going to lump in all of these baseball player prop bets. I'm at about a 60% confidence level. With baseball player prop bets, I understand those can be very hit or miss. So that's why it's like 60. But to be honest, to reveal, what I did is I found hitters who have a really good history against the starting pitcher, and then I went and just looked for what the bet was, looked for what the best bet was. So Harold Ramirez has great numbers against Garrett Cole, found the total bases, thought that was a good bet. Jerkinson Profar owns Tajon Walker, found that bet. So feel similar confidence level about all of those baseball props. So that answers Tristan's question. By the way, Tristan, we will get to another pick because we did hit 12,000 likes. So don't worry, we will get to those in just 1 second. But before we do, I promised Drew 7382 we'd answer his question about Max Strus and his over point total. So let's take a look. Let's go to the Outlier website and app. Let's go to our player prop finder for the NBA. And let's go to Max Strus. There's another... Our best bet, by the way, is going to come from this game as well. I'm just teasing that right now. So, Drew, could you share with us what point total you had Max Strus at? I want to play off of which one you're looking at. So, Drew, Max Strus, what point total did you have it at? If you could throw that comment in the chat. If Drew's still watching, Drew, throw which Max Strus point total you had. 12.5. Thank you. So, 12.5. You see the under has the better implied probability at 53%. And I'm already going to show you the under's the stronger play. Just look at it. Look at that. Or sorry, the over's the stronger play. The over is the stronger play. Look at the trend. So the over 12.5 points, he's hit that in 4 straight games. He's hit that in 4 straight games. And one of the reasons I feel so confident, I like the over. I like over 12.5 points for Max Strus. Here's part of the reason why, is because without Tyler Hero there, you're just seeing he's becoming more and more important as a 3-point shooter. So I like Max Strus over 12.5 points, Drew. Tristan, your fingers hurt. Oh man, I don't want your finger hurting. I want you enjoying the show, but appreciate you hitting that like button as many times as you have. For all of those who are watching, all of those who have hit the like button, all of those who have contributed a gift, thank you so much. We owe you another bet because Tristan is crushing that like button. And I'm gonna put this up at the higher part of the screen, but it's still a new bet. It's gonna be in this Miami game. So this Miami game, we saw this earlier. This is a bet. This is a pick from somebody else. We saw this earlier. Wanted to make sure I gave this one out. Where did I put this one? I gotta find it. Just give me 1 second. I want to find it again because I saw someone put this out on Twitter. I don't want to do that. I'm pretty sure. What's his name? I'm forgetting his name. That's what it is. So reset. It's a sis. It was a sis for who was it? Who's the dude? Not Grimes. Who's the other guard for the Heat? Who's the other guard for the Heat? Not Strus, not Lowry, not Martin. What's this dude's name? Somebody out there in the chat, remind me, who's the other guard for the Miami Heat? I'm blanking on his name right now. Not Martin. By the way, what do I think of the Lakers tonight? I think the Lakers are going to win and cover. Lakers -3. What's his name? What's this mofo's name? At this point, I should just do it this way. So, Miami Heat. Just going to go to their roster. Vincent, thank you. Bob White on Instagram Live. You are the winner of that. Thank you so much. Okay, it was Vincent. I saw this stat earlier today on Twitter. If I can, now that we just froze, if I can get this screen to work. No. My screen just froze. There we go. Okay, so Gabe Vincent. I saw this earlier. I saw a great note on him. Gabe Vincent. Yeah, here it is. This is our next favorite bet of the day. Gabe Vincent over 3.5 assists. Look at this. Boom. You want to bet? Boom. Over 3.5 assists. That's what we love. So put it on the board, okay? Gabe Vincent Here we go. So, Tristan, because you've been crushing that like button, we're going to give another one. Gabe Vincent over 3.5 assists. And what are we getting it at, everybody? Let's see. We are getting Gabe Vincent over 3.5. Minus 120. Minus 120. Guys, Gabe Vincent. Yeah, Caesar, thank you. For those watching on TikTok Live, YouTube, and Instagram Live, thank you guys for correcting me. It's Gabe Vincent. And Gabe Vincent has been cash money distributing the basketball. Minus 120, over 3.5 assists. Again, Gabe Vincent, over 3.5 assists, minus 120. And I'm going to show this one more time. You want to see a cash bet? Boom. Look at that. 8 out of his last 10 games, but more importantly, every game of the series. Every game of the series. Boom. That's what we want to see. When we look at trends, we want to see that. Consistently over 3.5. And again, Miami Heat are at home. I expect that their shooters are going to be really good tonight. More comfortable at home. I think that's going to help Vincent. Every time he's passing to a guy who's got a greater probability of scoring. Yeah, Tristan, that's like a 90% confidence level for me. That's exactly right. There's no such thing as 100%. For me, 95% is kind of ridiculous. But Tristan, this kind of bet, this is like a 90% confidence level. Absolutely agree with you. So Queen Carter asking on Instagram Live, my answer is yes. I like the Heat on the money line. I like the Knicks to cover. Knicks plus 6.5. And one of the things we talked about earlier in the show is Scott Foster is the referee for that game tonight. In this year, Scott Foster has refereed 5 Miami Heat games. The Heat are 0-5. I don't think that means they'll lose on the money line. I still like Miami on the money line, but do I think that impacts the Knicks covering? Yes. I love the Knicks plus 6.5. But be wary, Scott Foster is a reason to not like Miami as much as you would, given they're at home. By the way, we're coming up on 2 full hours of our show, about to finish up. You guys have been incredible. If you've been watching on YouTube, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hope you're subscribing on YouTube. Hope you're watching every time. Guys, you guys have been amazing. Tristan, IP Shade 45, Drew 7382, Real Bordeaux, Jesus, Boss Lady, One Big Deal 2022, His Queen Carter on Instagram Live, Kyle, Paperboy, John. Want to give a big shout out to everyone who's been watching the show. You guys have been amazing. We have now done almost 2 full hours. We do that every single day. We are live every day, giving you our best bets, our favorite plays, answering your questions, talking sports, and having so much fun doing it. And One Big Deal 2022, you knew where we were going. That's right. We got to throw our best bets back up on the screen. That way you know what they are. Don't want you guys paying attention to stats or anything else now. So these are our favorite bets of the day. His Queen Carter. I like the Lakers on the money line and the Lakers to cover tonight. I do like the Lakers tonight, and I like D'Angelo Russell. So to go back through some of our favorite bets of the day, if you're watching on TikTok Live or on YouTube, they're up on the screen. Definitely want to give a big shout out. Want to give a big shout out to IP Shade 45, Casey Hammond, and La Cub. Thank you for the gifts today. Thank you so much. The support you guys show us. This is our full-time job. We have an entire sports company, a content company, and this is what we do. So thank you guys so much. The support you guys show us is how we keep being able to do this every single day. Want to give a big shout out to our team behind the scenes. Blease, Hallmark, Kyle, David, everybody else, Ben, everyone else who joins us, helps us. Could not do this without the incredible support we get from all these great people here at Fumble Sports. And of course, one more time, if you're watching on Instagram Live, have a pen and paper ready. We're about to go through all of our favorite bets of the day. Again, you guys can't see it on the screen if you're watching on Instagram Live, but if you're on TikTok Live and on YouTube, here are our favorite bets of the day. Again, I'll go through them just so everyone on Instagram Live can hear them. So if you're on Instagram Live, make sure you're paying attention. We're about to go through our favorite bets of the day right now. So Instagram Live, pay attention. First one, Bam Adebayo over. We originally took it at 7.5 rebounds, which feels like a very good bet. Well, we saw it at 8.5 during the show. That's where we took it now. So over 8.5 rebounds. If you can get it at 7.5, really strong play for Bam Adebayo over rebounds. Jimmy Butler over 1.5 steals. That's been a strong play. It cashed for us last game. Gabe Vincent over 3.5 assists. Jesus, I know that other people have it at other prices, but if you can get it at 3.5, that feels like a very, very comfortable bet. D'Angelo Russell over 14.5 points. After a loss, the Lakers have found him in a scoring capacity. Whether Anthony Davis is a full go or not, we like D'Angelo Russell over 14.5 points. Steph Curry under 32.5 points. It may feel like a tough one to swallow, but Steph Curry, the stats suggest on the road, not as good a scorer. We'll take the under 32.5 points. LeBron James under 33.5 points and assists. The stats suggest he's going to be more of a facilitator, but even there, he won't get as many points. So that said, we're going to take the under 33.5. Doing our research, we liked Andrew Wiggins. Mid-show, we did our research. Andrew Wiggins over 14.5 points. That should be over 14.5 points. We've been red hot on our baseball game picks, of late. We like the under in the Cubs-Twins game, under 8.5. We also like the Cubs on the run line. We like the Cubs on the money line. We like everything about the Cubs today. As for the Guardians game, we love the under in the Guardians game. So just got a question about that. We love the under in the Guardians game as well. That's Angels-Guardians. We like the under in that one. We like the Rangers on the money line tonight. Martin Perez on the bump. Think he's going to have a good night against an Oakland Athletics team that's just terrible all the way around. We did our research mid-show and found Spencer Strider. Spencer Strider is a strong play today. Spencer Strider over 7.5 strikeouts has been a cashing play every game this season, so hopefully we don't jinx him by going with him tonight. And then our last 4 bets of the night, Harold Ramirez over half a base, Jerkinson Profar over half a base, or over half a hit rather, Ian Happ over half a base, and Adolis Garcia over half a hit. Appreciate all of you guys joining us, following us, being with us. We have done 2 live hours of show. We're going to go off YouTube and off Instagram Live. If you want to join us now, subscribe to us on TikTok Live and join us. We will come back on TikTok Live, but only for those who subscribe. So subscribe to Butt Fumble Sports, and we will be exclusively live right now on TikTok Live. So thank you so much, everybody. We say goodbye to everyone. Make sure you subscribe and join us right now on TikTok Live for a brand new show. Thanks.